Welcome to Vitamin OC. I'm Whitney Gomez. Every week we bring you your recommended dose of civics and civilization in Orange County. And we have a special guest with us here today, Scott Burnett from Integrity Computer Concepts. He is the guru on all things home and small business related computer networking. And he was just here today upgrading our Wi-Fi network. So thank you for that.
Working better.
You know so many people. You are in so many homes. You know all the secrets, all the password, everything. Right now you have my Wi-Fi on your phone. And if you get mad at me, you can just turn it off.
I would never.
You might.
I wouldn't be in business for 20 years if I did stuff like that.
That's true.
Yes, I do have a lot of stuff in my head.
I wanted to talk to you about something that's come up quite a bit recently, especially with a lot of kids studying abroad. Their iPhones are being stolen. So I asked you to come talk to us about what we can do after the phone is stolen. You said, don't be a dummy. There are steps you can take before the phone is stolen. So talk to us.
The things that you can do before the phone is stolen, way more important, because after the phone is stolen, you're in panic mode, emergency mode, but it's not difficult to mitigate the circumstances by doing a few things ahead of time. So number one, got to know your passwords. Super, super important. You cannot...
Is that directed at me, Scott?
No. Some people are more password challenged than others. But the days of keeping our passwords all the same thing or putting them on sticky notes under our keyboard, those days are gone. So we need long and strong passwords, and we need a good system to keep track, whether it's the Notes app or the Contacts app on your phone, which isn't very safe, or an app like Keeper or LastPass or something like that. Or a notebook in the drawer at your desk. Not bad. But if you don't know the passwords, when you get your phone stolen, now you have two emergencies. You don't have a phone and you don't know your passwords. So when you do get a phone, you can't check your email. You can't open up your contacts. You can't log into your Apple ID because you don't have your passwords because they're all unfortunately saved on your phone. So we should have an app that saves them to the cloud, or we should have them written down at our house.
So like the Keeper app, which we just looked at on my phone.
Yep.
I can access that on my computer.
Absolutely.
That's helpful.
So the Keeper app is one of those apps that I like a lot that allows us to store our passwords safely and securely encrypted in the cloud so that if we lose our phone, we still have access to our passwords. You should memorize your Keeper password because that's the only password you need to get into the vault to unlock all your other passwords. If you just had your passwords dialed in, you've won half the battle. But if you're going to get your phone stolen, then you're going to have to reload all of your data from iCloud. And we're talking about iPhones right now because primarily that's what people here in Orange County use is iPhones. There's a very similar system for Android users that involves Google's cloud. But on an iPhone, you need to make sure that your phone is securely and properly backed up to iCloud. So that means buying iCloud storage. One of the problems I see is people just use the free 5 gigabytes of iCloud storage. And when it fills up, they don't upgrade to the 99-cent plan or the $2.99 plan.
Worth every penny.
Worth every penny. If your phone dies, you want to be able to get all your stuff back from the cloud. Now that you've purchased extra iCloud storage, you have to specify what's backed up. You can say, back up my Safari favorites, but not my text messages. Back up my photos, but not my contacts. I say back everything up. There's little green toggle switches on iCloud backup, and every one of them should be on. If you use iCloud Mail and your email address ends in iCloud.com or me.com, then the mail should be toggled on. But if you don't use iCloud Mail, and most people don't use iCloud Mail, you can leave that one turned off. Okay. So most people use, Gmail or something else. So they don't need to back up their iCloud Mail. But everything else, notes, calendar, contacts, photos, text messages, passwords, Safari, they should all be backed up to iCloud. So now if your phone gets stolen, I have my passwords, I have my data safely in the cloud. I'm not stressing. I'm not losing any sleep. I'm just slowly finding a way to get to the Apple Store. That's my biggest emergency is a ride.
Okay.
In Europe to the Apple Store.
Okay.
So I can get a new iPhone. Once I get an iPhone, I know my Apple ID password because I have it saved in Keeper, right? I called home, got it, and then I restore all my data from my iCloud backup. No emergency at all. But because the kids are getting their phones stolen, it's important for us to remind them to turn on Find My Phone, know their Apple ID password, have their stuff safely stored in a password app, have their iCloud backed up. So what I had just mentioned, I didn't say earlier, is the Find My Phone app. A lot of times our kids will turn it off. I would never know why a teenager would turn off Find My Phone. But surprisingly, they sometimes do. And when they do, they forget to turn it back on. So they might not remember why they turned it off or when they turned it off. My 15-year-old's Find My Phone was turned off yesterday. I went and looked for him using Life 360 and his battery was dead. Life 360, the app that our family uses, wasn't working. Went over to the Find My Phone app, which sometimes works even when the batteries are dead on an iPhone. So I went over and it said, Blake's location is not available to you.
Just you.
Yeah. So Blake had turned off his Find My location.
Okay.
And who knows when. Could have been 6 months ago and didn't turn it back on. So we need to make sure Find My is turned on. They know their Apple ID. They have their passwords. And the iCloud backup is turned on. And if you have all of that done, getting your phone stolen isn't an emergency anymore.
What about things like banking apps on our phones? If you're going to be traveling, should you take the app off?
No. Your app requires a password to log in. And the stealers, thieves, hackers, they don't know your password. So they're not going to get into your banking app. If your phone requires facial ID, they can't open your phone. The only thing they can do is wipe your phone and sell it. So they have an empty phone, which still doesn't work properly because it's linked with your Apple ID. I honestly don't know too many people that get their phone stolen because a stolen iPhone isn't really worth that much on the resale market. Once a phone is stolen, it can be erased, but that phone is tied to your Apple ID. And you can't sign in with another Apple ID until your Apple ID is unlinked with it. So there's a lot of phones, like Android phones, that are stolen because you can wipe that and then you reuse it. But an iPhone, it's a little bit more difficult. And Apple did that on purpose, which is why you don't hear a lot of... Now, losing your phone, that's
different, yeah.
And maybe getting your purse snatched or your backpack stolen, those all happen all the time. Mm-hmm. But thieves don't necessarily target iPhones as much as you might think because it's not super easy to wipe the phone, unlink it from their Apple ID, and then sell it.
Okay.
And if maybe they know your password, maybe they peeked over your shoulder and got your password, then your phone could get stolen and they could use the password to unlock an app. And that would be bad because your passwords might be saved. So that would not be good. I would recommend not using the password, when traveling, just using the facial ID because nobody can really fake that. But I could look over your shoulder in a restaurant and figure out what your password is. Then I could steal your purse. Okay. Now I have your phone and your password and your phone password. And once I get into your phone, I've got all kinds of stuff. So it really would, you got to keep your password safe or not use it. Use your thumbprint on an older iPhone or your facial recognition. People think, well, I don't want to use my facial recognition because that's not safe. It's safer than not using.
It's pretty safe.
Your facial recognition. The downsides, your face being in some database to unlock phones, I think it's a lot scarier to, use your push button password, get that stolen, and then lose your phone because now everything's gone.
Okay.
All the passwords you have saved, all the banking, now I can get into your banking app with your password.
Okay, let's go over some of the basics you cover when you come see someone like me. So we make sure that backups are happening on all the devices, laptops, phones, desktops, Macs. You want to make sure you have all your passwords
are pretty big.
In LastPass Keeper.
Yep.
That's a big thing.
Yep.
What else would you be looking to do?
Upgrade your equipment, your computer, your phone every 4, 5, 6 years. I see people going a long time without upgrading. They're at more risk for getting
security
scammed or hacked or, tricked, logged into. Okay. So 4 or 5 years for a computer, 6 at the most, and phones 2 or 3, 4 at the most.
Okay.
And then we replace them. Some people replace their phones and computers every couple of years, but you can't go more than 5 or 6 on a computer, and you really can't go more than 4 on a phone. The technology just gets out of date. It gets expired. It's not safe anymore. Technology changes, new things come out, hackers get smarter. Phones get smarter. We want the new phone to keep ourselves safe.
Okay. And we just redid the Wi-Fi system in my house. Mm-hmm. We had done that maybe 5 years ago.
We did. We put Google Wi-Fi in right after COVID and it lasted you 5 years, maybe 6. And it was time for an upgrade. So we put a new system in called Ubiquity. And the Unify Home Mesh Wi-Fi system is fantastic.
And is 5 years about right for the Wi-Fi system?
Yeah,
Okay.
about 5. Yeah, about 5 years. Again, technology just changes. Now we go, why is my phone so slow? It's so much faster when I go to Starbucks or my friend's house. And the bottleneck is your old wireless router or not enough mesh nodes in your house. Like you have 4 in your house. Maybe some houses have 6 or 8. Some houses only need 2 or 3. But one Wi-Fi router isn't enough, for anything bigger than an apartment.
So say our phone is stolen and we notice that maybe somebody's in our Google Drive. What action should we be taking right away when the phone is stolen?
Change your password. So you need to change that password and any password that is the same as that password. Okay. So let's say your Google password is volleyball375. You're going to go change your Google password. And any other account that also has volleyball375 as your password, you need to change that too. So your bank, your Apple ID, whenever you have a compromised security event, you need to change the top passwords. So Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, your bank, your email, whether it's Yahoo or AOL or Earthlink. If you have any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, you should make sure those are safe. And then you should have 2-factor authentication turned on, where they send you a code and you put the code in on your phone. And you should have that on everything that offers it. And not everything offers 2-factor authentication. But nowadays, most things do. Almost everything does offer it. You just have to go turn it on. Type in your cell phone number. They send you a code. Now, every time you log in, you get a code to your phone. You type in the code. It's a pain in the butt. But we give up some convenience for security. Okay. That's how it is.
Any other advice for people like me who are...
Oh, I could go on forever and ever and ever.
What's 2 more pieces of advice?
Passwords and passwords.
Passwords and passwords.
Yeah. Number 1 call of all time every day is I'm hacked, I'm scammed, and inevitably it falls down to I was using the same password, or I had a weak password, I had the same password for 15 years, or I don't know my password. If you don't know your password, then it's really tough to keep hackers out as well. Yeah. Password security it keeps me busy. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. Keep your kids safe. Know your kids. Right. That's equally important. Keep technology out of the bedroom as much as possible. The junk that our teenagers get in trouble with technology, whether it's pornography or stalking or hacking, or it all happens in the privacy of a bedroom. It doesn't happen in the living room, kitchen, or in the car ride to school. It happens in the privacy of a bedroom. For us, we just don't like the technology in the bedroom at all. And tech drama is relatively low in the Burnett house because of that reason. So keep it that way. Not always the most favorite parents on the planet, but I'll be their best friends later. Right. Not right now.
Right. Well, thank you. Thank you for your help today. Thanks for doing this with us. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us for your recommended dose of civics and civilization. We'll see you next time on Vitamin OC.